Hi, it's Kristen here, and this is my final for this technology class. Now, since I don't currently work at a school or in a gym like setting, I decided to highlight a piece of technology that I use for my health, and actually, my whole family uses it. Um, we have a health history of really high blood pressure on both my mom's side and my dad's side of the family. My grandpa has been on medication, my grandma's on medication. On my mom's side, my dad has been on medication before, so it's something that doctors kind of like to keep some tabs on. Now, as an added catch, we also suffer from something that is called white coat syndrome. This is actually fairly popular, but I didn't really know about it until a doctor actually talked to us about it. Now, it is when your body physically gets anxious anytime that you're in a clinical or doctor like setting. So when they try to take your blood pressure, it's always going to be inaccurate. So that's not a huge issue if you don't have family history of high blood pressure, but when it comes to us and having to monitor it, you got to have those accurate descriptions. So kind of a cool piece of technology that you can get now. You can get it on Amazon. I know that's where we got ours. Is this at home blood pressure cuff? Pretty simple. You take your blood pressure at home. It's a stress-free environment. You can relax. You can take it as many times as you need to, as often as you need to. Like my grandmother, she takes this once a week, tests her blood pressure, and there's actually a memory of the blood pressures that you've done. It'll remember it up to a year. So she cannot go to the doctor for a couple of months, and then he can still look at the patterns that have been going on with her blood pressure. Now, I personally only do it maybe every 2 or 3 months because I don't have to take this into the doctor, but I'm kind of one of those proactive people that it's better to keep an eye on things to let it become a problem. Now, this particular model cost $80. You can find them between like 30 and $100. I even saw one on Amazon when I was researching how much this cost because I had forgotten. There's a cuff, just the cuff part, that will attach into your iPhone, and you can take your blood pressure and record it on there. How crazy is that you can do that now? But to use this, fairly simple. So it's just the cup, just like at the doctor's office. Has these nice directions to show you where to go. Even has the inches, centimeters that you will need. So I will put that on right now. Kind of another cool thing about these, you can buy cuffs that are kind of specific to size, because that's another issue at the doctor's office. If you've got a bigger bigger bicep or bigger arm, if you're overweight, a lot of times the little cuffs they have at the doctor's office don't fit properly or comfortably. And so you can buy bigger cuffs, and so you can have a more accurate blood pressure reading getting it from your home with a cuff that actually fits like it needs to. So, everything's clear. Press the start button, and it's going to start doing its thing. So there, takes your blood pressure. You can see what it does and see what it says. And like I said, you can go through and see the months, the days that you took it, what the blood pressure was, and you can check out your patterns that way. I would say that there's a lot more pros to these nifty little machines than there are cons, mostly being the fact that you're able to get a better blood pressure reading for yourself, especially if you need to monitor it. For the most part, they don't have to be that expensive. Like I said, I saw some options for $40. This obviously was $80. That might be pricey to some people, but if you have problems with blood pressure and you have this white coat syndrome that you can't get a good reading at the doctor's office, it makes for a good investment, because I know that my family has had this for 4 years now, still runs like a dream. So makes for a good investment in your own health and to be able to kind of read things more accurately. Like I said, I only use it every few months just to make sure that there's no big, changes or anything like that. But my grandma uses it once a week and records it, and will visit the doctor once a month and shows kind of how everything's going to see. whether she needs to keep taking her medication, whether she needs to change dosages, things like that. So it's been extremely helpful for her. Now, some cons may be the fact, basically, you're putting the responsibility on yourself to watch your blood pressure, remember to take your blood pressure, remember to take this to the doctor when you go to the doctor. So it kind of just depends on if you can take that responsibility or not. If you don't have problems with blood pressure, if you don't have the white coat syndrome, and you can get your blood pressure taken at the doctor's office and be just fine, it doesn't really make a lot of sense for you to pay 80 or even 40 bucks on something like this. But if it's something that you really need to keep tabs on, it makes for a great investment. So in short, that is this nifty blood pressure machine, kind of a random health tool, and I hope you know a little bit more about not only options that are out there, the thing that white coat syndrome actually exists. Maybe you've been having some funky readings at the doctor's office. That could be why. You should definitely check into it. And to sum up, that is my video.